2016, along with plentiful standard gear, splendid LED headlights, a towing bundle, blindside checking with race cross activity alarm, the rough terrain arranged Pro 4X brings a locking back differential, Bilstein dampers, 18-inch wheels with off-road tires, and a group of underbody slip plates. The Titan's non-functional bumper vents and horribly overhung nose are offered at no extra charge, including the $3,310 Pro 4X convenience bundle, radiators for the guiding haggle of the 5 seats in addition to calfskin conceals all around, alongside the $1,100 Pro 4X utility and audio bundle, a Rockford Fosgate stereo, front and back stopping sensors, and a large group of tie-downs in the load bed, was a sounder choice than our trim-level decision. Our Pro 4X's absence of any help ventures for an as-tried $57,155 truck. Nissan offers taxi and boxed steps independently as extras, bothered its spoilers. What's more, at in excess of 20 feet long and weighing 7,280 pounds, the XD is basically excessively bulky, making it impossible to successfully handle rough terrain landscape. In spite of the unassuming 310 drive from the Cummins turbocharged 5.0-liter V8, the diesel's 555 pound-feet of torque pulls the Titan through activity with assurance. Early logbook remarks noticed the soundness with which the Titan pulled around 3 tons of trailer and jalopy, yet without much scurry. Some niggles sprung up, as well, including worries about a paralyzed and overwhelming rudder that kept on moaning at low speeds even after we found the power-directing framework's liquid was low and finished it off. An unmanageable back-end discharge handle additionally tormented the Titan for quite a bit of its term, in spite of the merchant supplanting a flawed electronic bolt actuator at no charge. The Diesel XD was dormant at the test track, trudging to 60 miles per hour in 9.4 seconds after its 6,000 mile soften-up period and covering the quarter mile in 17.3 seconds at 82 miles per hour. Those circumstances enhanced to some degree, to 8.9 and 17.0 seconds, once the XD had slackened up at 40,000 miles, as did its preventing separation from 70 miles per hour, 204 feet down to 197, and pitiful grasp around the skid pad, 0.66 grams versus 0.71. Be that as it may, other diesel rigs from Ford, General Motors, and Ram produce in excess of 900 pound-feet of torque, with a few illustrations ready to dash to 60 miles per hour in under 7.0 seconds. The Cummins V8 likewise sounds less refined in activity than its 32-valve double overhead cam design would propose. The faltering snarl that went with the 5.0's rattle provoked specialized executive Eric Dingwall to jot Chewbacca is my co-pilot in the Titan's logbook. The Wookiee in the engine likewise had an insatiable hunger for diesel fumes liquid, a urea-based arrangement infused into the XD's fumes framework to restrict nitrogen oxide emanations. With our truck's arduous obligation cycle, DEF utilization is in respect to motor load, and the XD's little, 4.5-gallon DEF tank, the 44 gallons we nourished the Nissan more than 40,000 miles, at generally $6 per, came in numerous little dosages. The DEF screen in the Titan's data show additionally sometimes requested refills when the tank was about full and flashed benefit cautions that immediately vanished. Other logbook sections communicated wonderment at Nissan's endorsement of the XD's classless IN 6-speed program. Indeed, even after 2 PC reflashes under guarantee, the Titan's transmission swayed through its proportions under increasing speed and, with suddenness, thumped in to adapt at slower speeds. It's difficult to trust somebody could approve this transmission alignment, noted right-hand specialized editorial manager David Beard. For all intents and purposes each driver concurred that the Pro 4X's cosseting zero-gravity front seats were its best property, with the team taxi inside itself loaded with enhancements and capacity choices for long voyages and a scope of work. However, the Lodge's vibrations, chintzy materials, and obsolete 7.0-inch touchscreen that washed out in daylight never inspired its tenants. Agent online supervisor Dave Vanderwerf summed it up well: this new Titan feels an age or more behind full-measure pickups from the Detroit 3. Regardless of its numerous flaws, our Nissan piled on miles pulling furniture and yard flotsam and jetsam, towing rough terrain toys around Michigan, and getting autos from the 2 coasts. While a huge number of miles our truck secured with a trailer brought down the efficiency normal to 15 miles per gallon by and large, the unladen Titan returned 18 miles per gallon on our 200-mile parkway circle. As an overwhelming obligation truck, the XD is absolved from EPA mileage gauges. Essential upkeep for the diesel Titan was generous. Nissan's administration plan calls for consistent checkups each 10,000 miles unless the oil life screen in the group requests it sooner, as our dedicated trucks did. We burned through $1,634 on 4 routine stops, in addition to a fifth and last $298 visit for new brake and transmission liquids that ought to have been changed by 2 separate merchants as a major aspect of the Nissan's 20k and 40k mile employments. The XD's logbook achieved top antagonism when the Cummins motor began misbehaving around 27,000 miles, at last stranding us a few times. While on the way from Ann Arbor to Santa Barbara, California, to recover CD's fire-painted Mitsubishi Eclipse GTR, the XD limped into an Iowa dealership down on control and enlightening a registration light for low coolant levels. The administration work area, deciding nothing genuine was not right, supplanted the coolant and eradicated the codes previously clearing us to bear on in the now apparently sound truck. It was 2,400 miles later, on the arrival trip in the California abandoned with the Mitsu close by, that a similar registration alarm returned, which we affirmed with an OBD2 scanner obtained from an automobile parts store. The nearest Nissan shop was 60 miles away. With the last dealership encounter demonstrating uneventful, we felt sensible in rehashing the past fix until the point that the issue could be additionally explored back home. Looking back, given the now endless coolant misfortune, we would have been more shrewd to look for a moment conclusion from another Nissan store. Our good faith finished in Nebraska when the truck's issues went into overdrive, the Titan devouring more coolant before limping into another dealership with white smoke regurgitating from its tailpipe. A kaleidoscope of registration notices indicated a spilling fumes gas distribution cooler, which is a warmth exchanger that utilizations motor coolant to lessen the temperature of fumes that is steered again into the ignition chambers to control NOx outflows. A fuel injector in our truck's motor had additionally fizzled, a different, known issue with the Cummins V8 motor, which the merchant supplanted under guarantee alongside the Titan's full fumes framework. The administration specialists additionally tried the Cummins cooling framework and EGR warm exchanger, however inquisitively found no confirmation of holes. We recovered the truck from Nebraska 7 days after the fact, returned home, and afterward dispatched it to Virginia International Raceway in help of our yearly lightning lap occasion. The Titan made it to her, however the 5.0 started to run harsh while at the track, and more motor repairs and examinations stopped the XD at different Nissan outlets in Virginia, Ohio, and Ann Arbor. The truck's disturbed running at long last died down when another EGR cooler was introduced under guarantee at 36,000 miles, the 6th pit stop identified with the first issue. While Nissan says that development of the EGR cooler was reinforced on diesel XDs worked after September 2016, we have since perused of other EGR-related issues from Titan proprietors on the web. In spite of the fact that the breakdown of its Cummins motor and the resulting inconvenience it took for Nissan's administration system to adjust it were sufficient to gain our long-term RF on its report card, that issue was just the last bit of trouble that will be tolerated for drivers effectively baffled with the Titan's numerous everyday issues. As an additional substantial tweener that can disillusion even on its great days, Nissan's enormous apparatus left us unconvinced that its semi-overwhelming obligation specialty is truly needing filling. Tirades and raves. It is simply too enormous for its own great and truly demonstrates Nissan's freshness with this class of vehicle. Joseph Caparella. A little more than 8,300 miles on the odometer and the power guiding pump feels as though it's coming up short. Drew Dorian. This truck is simply shockingly awful already. I had just been in the Titan with a trailer appended. Unfortunately, it drives like it's towing notwithstanding when it's definitely not. Jeff Sabatini. In the course of the most recent 2 days, I've burned through 30 or more hours driving the Titan and have discovered the say,